challenged Will Ospreay, but you lost. Will Ospreay challenged me and I won.
Bryan Danielson made his entrance wearing a black t-shirt and blue jeans. He doesn't even wear his own merchandise. Bryan will challenge AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland at All In on August 25. Bryan sucked up to the fans, saying it was great to be in Greenville. Bryan said that his wife and him got their engagement pictures taken right here in Greenville while saying they had a beautiful downtown. There was a brief Bree chant. Bryan said that you don't realize it's the good old days until it's almost gone. Bryan spoke about how he has been lucky because he was able to come back from a career-ending injury. Bryan said that the last 3 years in AEW have been incredible and they were the funnest time in his career. Bryan said that he was able to be present behind the curtain and he was able to be present when the fans were chanting yes for him. The fans chanted "Thank you Bryan" for him. The promo continued as Bryan said that he promised his daughter when she turned 7, he's going to stop wrestling full-time. Bryan spoke about how the contract he signed with AEW ends tomorrow and he said that he promised his family that would be the last contract. Bryan talked about how every time he stepped into the ring he would give his all for the fans and for himself. Bryan said that he was going to kick people's heads in while he was in AEW and he said he was going to win the AEW World Championship. Bryan said he's kicked a lot of heads in, but he hasn't won the AEW World Championship yet. Bryan said that this will be his last shot and it will be at AEW's biggest show of the year at Wembley Stadium at All In. Bryan said that doctors are telling him not to wrestle and his family doesn't want him to wrestle. Bryan said he'll be present at Wembley Stadium and he'll give you 100%. Bryan said that he promises with his body, his mind, and his soul, he will go all in at All In. The AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana interrupted the promo. They joined Danielson in the ring. The fans kept reacting to "Whose house?" So Bryan encouraged yes chants. Swerve told Bryan he respects him and Bryan inspired a whole generation of wrestlers to pursue their dreams, including Swerve. Strickland said if it were any other time, he would want Bryan to have his moment at All In. Swerve said that this is Swerve's time. Swerve said that he's one of a kind and said that in 10 years from now, people will want to press rewind. Swerve said that maybe Bryan wasn't able to handle it when Bryan's opponents kicked back. Swerve said that this is not an achievement award. Swerve said that this belt shows that you are the best in the world and Swerve is the best in the world. Swerve mentioned that Bryan lost to Ospreay and Swerve beat Ospreay. Swerve said that Bryan lost to the Elite at Anarchy in the arena while Swerve led Team AEW to beat the Elite at Blood and Guts. Swerve said last year he competed at All In while Bryan was too broken down to get on a flight to London. Ouch. Swerve said he knows Bryan likes to be in the moment. Swerve told Bryan that he promised him that he was the most dangerous man in AEW and Swerve promised Bryan that he would not be walking out of All In as champion. Swerve said that Bryan may not walk again after Swerve is done with him. Bryan told Swerve he had one more promise. Bryan promised that if he doesn't win the AEW World Championship then he will never wrestle again. Taz, what the hell? Some fans chanted no to that. Bryan, your title versus my career at All In. Swerve, what do you say? Swerve shook Bryan's hand to agree to it. Swerve said that it was noble of Bryan. Swerve said don't keep that promise with Swerve, keep it with your family. Swerve left as his music played.